All right, I swear, even though I look the same in pretty much every video, I'm filming these things on different days. But today we're going to talk about the Filson Rail Splitter jeans. I only have this one pair, and I bought them secondhand, and I got them back up on Poshmark because I just not a huge fan of the way they fit. So we'll get to that. But to start off, we'll talk about the quality. The quality is extremely high. I am not a fashion snob. I mean, I guess I'm kind of turning into one with all these clothing videos I make, but I always just buy work clothes, you know, like I wore Wrangler Riggs pants for like 8 years, and I had like 3 or 4 pairs of Wrangler Riggs cargo pants, and that was what I wore everywhere I went. And I finally got tired of sweating to death in the summer, and you know, like branched out from there. And anyway, I got into jeans, and I didn't like, you know, get into them like a nerd. I just like started wearing jeans, and it's like, well, I'm hard to fit. I have a 38 waist and I have tree trunk thighs. I'm a big dude, and it's just tough to find things that are comfortable. And so I had worn Duluth for a while and moved on. Now I'm kind of going backwards and going from the more modern stretchy stuff kind of back to like the old school, you know, cotton duck and jeans and things. And so anyway, it's an interesting journey you can take trying to find things that fit you well. So if you find a brand and it fits you well and you like it, you should probably stick with it. But for most things Filson, that's the case for me. So we'll come and get a look at the label. These are 38 by 34, sewn in the USA. That's great. This denim is very thick, it's very heavy, it's very tough, and these are almost a keeper for me. But they're just a little bit too tight around the crotch and the thighs, and I can still sell these for what I paid for them, so that's why I'm opting to sell them. But you know, traditional button closure at the top, traditional YKK zip. You know, it looks like it's just brass. It has Filson on it, the name Filson on it, which I guess if that's a nerdy thing, maybe you like that. You know, traditional 5-pocket layout. One of the things Filson does with their pockets that I personally like is the pockets are flat at the bottom. And then they reinforce the pockets with a second layer of fabric. So there's 2 layers of fabric here, single layer of fabric up here. Most pockets in my use case wear out towards the bottom here. Probably never gonna happen with these guys. The material they make these pocket bags from is also a thicker, heavier twill than what you find in a traditional jean pocket. So the pockets I love. They're a good size. They're not huge, they're not small, they're just fine. And I like the flat bottom, you may not. Another spot of reinforcement on these guys is the back pockets here. 1 layer here, 2 layers down here. So that's kind of nice. And then just regular old, everything else is just like a regular old jean. Really nice leather tag, you can run your belt through. These belt loops can handle a 1 3/4 belt, but you can only get a 1 1/2 through the tag. You know, nice color. They have different color options. This is the medium indigo, and you know, just a pair of jeans, right? I mean, high quality, well made. So there's a look at those, and then yeah, my experience with wearing them is, you know, like I've said before, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'2.5". I'm 255 pounds, 38 waist. I traditionally use a 34 or a 32-inch inseam. I have found some brands where the 32 is a little bit too small, and 34 is usually just a little bit too long. So probably I'm like a 33. Well, you can't get 33s most of the time. You either get a 32 or a 34. So I'm just kind of used to dealing with that. And I find these Filson 34s tend to work really well. I actually tend to prefer the Filson 34 length over the 32 because I'd rather have a little extra length in case I put boots on or something. And real high quality pair of jeans. You know, are they worth $200? I mean, I've never paid that much for a pair of pants before, so that's up to you. That's not what I paid for them. If these fit perfectly, if they fit me perfectly and I was just nothing but happy with them, I would not pay $200 for them. That's the way I feel. So I would just look secondhand myself. But yeah, and then just to reiterate where the binding issues were for me, it's like if I squat, that's like how I test a jacket. can I do this? And it's comfortable, right? Like I want to see if there's binding in the shoulders. Well, the binding I look for in pants, because I work on my hands, I'm on my knees, I squat, I'm, you know, getting up and down. I mean, I do that stuff. So I need the articulation. Mainly the binding happens in the crotch or along the thighs or the butt. So if I get down into a squat and I try to pull my legs apart, is it binding? And with these, they bind pretty hard. I took a bath in them. I soaked them with water, you know, lukewarm water, cool water, and sat in the bath for half hour, you know, just wearing them, and stretched them out, got out while they were still wet, and stretched and sat and squatted, and, you know, it did loosen them up a little bit, but they just don't fit well enough for me to want to keep. I will say the waist, as far as I can tell, the 38 waist, I'm always a 38, and they are true to size. They fit great in that regard. The legs are roomy. They're not too tight. They're not too loose. I don't have any problems with the legs. It's just that binding in the crotch area. So that's kind of a bummer, but they're very nice jeans, very heavy duty. And I think even if you did spend 200 bucks, I seriously doubt you'd be disappointed with them. But you know, that's a lot of money to spend on a pair of jeans. So, you know, your call. Okay.